hour designed for the community and brought to you by the community.
Each day, one of our hosts will join with people from organizations throughout the greater Chico area.
We want to let you know what's happening in Chico now.
Join us.
This is Chico Now.
Yes, it is. Good afternoon, Chico, Butte County. This is indeed the Thursday program of Chico Now. I'm Scott Allred, pastor of Aldersgate United Methodist Church on Cohasset Road, right at Lupin. We call it Worship at the Light because there's a traffic light there. And I'm the Thursday host of this show. And before I tell you about our guest today, which, by the way, this is a really good thing. I just learned about this yesterday. It's been going on since December, and I think you're going to enjoy hearing what you had to hear today. I want to remind you of a couple of things coming up. To pray 10 Days Chico is going to be starting on September the 4th, which is this coming Wednesday. And 11 days, I know it says 10 days, but okay, Dice Up doesn't know how to count. He was my guest last week. 10 days of prayer in various different churches around the communities. And also during the morning and at noontime. If you'd like to see information on this, you may write to 10dayschico@gmail.com and get the flyer and get the other information and everything that's going on. That starts this coming Wednesday. As I had a couple of guests the last couple of weeks, if you are a parent or parents and you have some children up through 6th grade and maybe even possibly 8th grade, there is an Awana program at Aldersgate United Methodist Church, and that starts this coming Tuesday, and it goes through May, and it's every Tuesday night from 6 o'clock to 10 minutes to 8, and children from age 3 through 8th grade. When we had the radio show on, we said 6th grade, but yet we have indeed started a quest level, which is 7th and 8th grade as well. You may call Vicky Pecci, our Awana commander at Aldersgate United Methodist Church, and that's at 893-8640. I think that's our number. You know, I've only been a pastor there for 2 years. I don't know my phone number. My guest this morning is actually a neighbor of Aldersgate United Methodist Church, and it is Dave Freitas, and he is the owner of Scrambles. And I got to tell you, I happen to be a breakfast fan, and I love Scrambles. And I'm not saying that because Dave's sitting here. I really do. Good food, good breakfast, and you guys have more than just breakfast things. But I never eat anything other than a scramble, man. I mean, I just have to.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Just as long as you come in and eat.
And you guys have other things there also, but you're open from 7 to 2, am I right?
7 to 2 every day, yes.
7 to 2 every day, and so if you're not there before 2 o'clock, too bad, you got to wait till the next day. And I will also tell you one thing I like about Scrambles. You go in there and you say, what are your flavored coffees today? And since I happen to be a flavored coffee guy, I've got hazelnut in here, I really like what you guys offer over there. So Dave is our guest, but he's not here to really talk about Scrambles, although it is something to do with Scrambles. Dave started a program back in December, and it was called Food from the Heart. Dave, talk about this. What is Food from the Heart?
Actually, Food from the Heart started, we have a men's Christian group that meets every Wednesday morning, and we obviously do study every week. And we studied the book Barefoot Church, and from that, which is Ministerial Church, we decided to do something for the community. And there was 5 or 6 of us that got together and threw some things in the hat, and this is what came up, where we feed everybody on every Wednesday night from 4:30 to 5:30. No questions asked. We just ask that you come sober and don't cause trouble. And we started out with, I think we had 10 or 15 guests the first time, and now we're averaging around 100 to 105 each Wednesday.
Wow. Where do you fit them in your restaurant?
At the tables, chairs, and booths. Yeah, no problem.
Wow.
Problem. We have some that come and go.
Okay.
Yeah, some that come early and leave early, and then those that stay the whole time. And those are our guests.
This is fantastic. Food from the Heart Ministry every Wednesday night from
4:30 to 5:30.
4:30 to 5:30. Now, do they order off their menu, or is it just one meal? Here it is.
One meal. We set up a little buffet.
Okay.
And we have your protein, your starch. We have salad or vegetables, and then we have bread and butter, etc., and beverages. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
My church is right up the road from your restaurant. I was absolutely unaware of this until Richard mentioned it to me, and so this started in December.
December 19th was our kickoff, yes.
That's been almost a year.
Almost a year. 9 months, yes.
Wow.
And we are a certified 501c. We are just got that, so that's exciting.
Very good, very good. And so the invitation is anybody who wants to come out and eat.
Absolutely.
Now I'm assuming, you know what they say about assumptions, but I'm assuming your target audience is those that are really hungry.
Yes, those that are really hungry. But with the economy that we've been going through, we're finding a lot of just elderly folks. We're having families with their children that this is a night out for them, and something they can't afford to really go to a restaurant, and so they're able to come into our restaurant and enjoy an evening and fellowship with those that are there.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now, folks, if you don't know where Scrambles is, for me, it's on Cohasset. But what's the address, Dave, of Scrambles?
It's 880 East Avenue.
880 East Avenue.
It's right across from Courtesy Motors, is the best way to say it.
Well, I just learned that this morning, that East Avenue, it's on Cohasset. Yeah, at East Avenue, you head north on East Avenue, you look to your left, right at the very end of the strip mall there, and you will see Scrambles. And during the day, sometimes you got some guy out there wiggling his arms, pointing to come on in, come on in.
That's Dylan, our little doughboy.
But I don't think he's going to be there Wednesday night between 4:30 and 5:30.
No, he's only there in the mornings.
Well, one reason why I probably have not been aware of this is every Wednesday I have a Bible study in the morning, I have a Bible study at nighttime, and so by about 4 o'clock I'm home, and then I have dinner with my wife and I come back. So I never go by the restaurant between 4 and 5. So that's probably why I didn't see I would have seen the cars there and asked, what's going on?
So then next Wednesday you can bring your wife for dinner.
I might just do that. Depends. Well, she usually gets home after 5:30. That's her problem. She teaches at Norville, you know. But this is a great program, and I'm very curious as to your funding for it, whether you can use some help volunteers. And I say this because I had some friends in Bakersfield whose family shut down their restaurant. They owned a IHOP, and then when IHOP demanded that they rebuild all their buildings, they said no, and they continued the building open underneath another name, but they continued the program. They called it Food for the Hungry, and it was just 2 nights a year, and I volunteered at that. It was for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, and this started with them opening them up, paying for it out of their pocket. But when it became huge, I mean, Bakersfield City said, can we bring you homeless from the homeless centers? That's when they began getting volunteers and help, and that's what I'm curious about the type of help you have, the type of help you may need, because we want to help you out.
We can always use volunteers. We can always use donations. Right now we do pay from our pocket.
We'll talk about that in our next segment. This is Chico Now. I'll be right back after this.
She says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want to shop redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard.
This kid's going back to school in the middle of August. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. We're supposed to be in Disneyland somewhere. But anyway, okay. Talking to Dave Freitas. I'm pronouncing your last name right.
Freitas, that's correct.
Okay. About he's the owner of Scrambles, and if you haven't been to Scrambles to eat, I know that there are coupons that are in local papers, or coupons that are in that annual monthly coupon book. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand you guys will recognize a coupon from another.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go, folks. So so let me finish what I was saying. If you have a coupon for another place, say as Country Waffles, which is also a very good place to eat at, you can take that to Scrambles and they'll honor it. So I learned that a number of years ago. And excellent food, breakfast food and lunch food. They're open from 7 to 2. What I'm talking to Dave about is about what's going on Wednesday nights. It has been since December the 19th. And Food from the Heart Ministry every Wednesday night from 4:30 to 5:30. Now, I was asking you at the last segment about your funding. Is this something you're doing out of your pocket? Is this something you and the guys in the Bible study started? How's this working for you?
Yes, those of us in the Bible study started, and we are funding it from our own pockets at the present time. We have had some, minor donations, but we can always use donations. We can always use volunteers. Just give us a call at the restaurant, and we'd love to have people down. We'd love to just have folks come down and visit and fellowship with our guests for the evening. That's great also. So any type of donations, guests, chefs, anybody that wants to cook and supply the food for the evening, that's wonderful. Just remember, we fix enough food for about 150 folks. That's what we have left at the end of Wednesday. If we do, we send that over to East Avenue Church because they do a Celebrate Recovery on Thursdays and they feed on Thursdays.
Yes,
so we try to help out that way and send in the extra food over there.
By the way, it's no longer Celebrate Recovery there. It's now
Serenity.
Yeah. just talked with one of those celebrate recovery leaders recently, and so yes, it is Serenity. I don't want to mislead somebody on that name over there, but that's excellent. That's fantastic. So you said that you can indeed use some help, volunteers and financially. I was telling Dave that a couple I know in Bakersfield has done this only twice a year, though. They don't do it every Wednesday as Dave's doing it, and the best help has come from volunteers within the community. In their situation, they had the local Starbucks provides coffee and hot chocolate. They serve turkey and with gravy, and there was local stores that provided the turkey. And of course, this has been going on for well over 20 years. And they put out an appeal one time a couple of years ago, the economy getting so bad, saying, we don't know if we can do this year. This is just on Facebook, simple comment. Because we are really hurting financially. And they got $28,000 for that program. They had to give it away. I mean, that's more than what they did. So, Dave, if somebody is listening and going, wow, I'd like to help in some way, how can they contact you?
Of course, contact us at Scrambles. An ideal situation is if we could get businesses, individuals, churches, whomever, to sponsor a week at a time. It's running us around $300 for the food portion of it a week. So
that's not bad.
No, of course, we're in the business, so we do the best we can. That doesn't cover any of our overhead and stuff like that, but that's not what we're interested in right now. But so if someone would come forth and sponsor a week, and then we would do whatever we could. If I say it was another business, we would let all our customers know during the week who had sponsored that particular week. But that's an ideal situation for us. We only really need 52 sponsors for the year. At least we've taken care of the food portion of it for our ministry, yes.
So contact you. Do you want to get that phone number?
Sure. 892-8963.
Do you have a Facebook page, a Scrambles?
Not yet.
Okay. You know what they say, Dave? Time to get with the times.
We had the cart before the horse, okay?
Well, my daughter, she's a graduate of UC Santa Barbara, and she worked with InterVarsity Christian Fellowship for 3 years, and a communications major and religious studies major, double majored, and I will proudly say 4 years with honors, no summer school. My daughter's pretty sharp, and she was talking to me a couple of weeks ago about Yelp.
Yes.
And I'm not aware of it. She says, Dad, I don't think you are because, you're fairly old. But we visited a restaurant down in Southern California, and she looked it up, and she goes, wow, look at this. I've got 199 hits on Yelp. And I went, what in the world's that? And she said, there are a lot of young people that will go to restaurants because of this kind of stuff.
True.
And I don't know if you guys have a write-up in Yelp, but I need to bring my daughter here because she'll write you up.
We do have a write-up in Yelp, but we can certainly, that's another area someone could volunteer if they're willing to help us with a Facebook page or Yelp or anything like that would be great. Anybody that's techie.
Yeah, and that's what Mariah was pointing out. In fact, I gave her some names of some local restaurants here in Chico that are very good, and she's going, wow, look at that. There's just 40 hits on this. She was surprised, this being a college community, that more people aren't doing it here. But, it's free advertisement, man. So, talking to Dave Freitas about a great ministry he has going on every Wednesday night at Scrambles. We'll get to it back after this. This is Chico Now.
A man walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the
Hour designed for the community and brought to you by the community.
Each day, one of our hosts will join with people from organizations throughout the greater Chico area.
We want to let you know what's happening in Chico now.
Join us.
This is Chico Now.
Yes, it is, and welcome back, Chico Butte County, our final time here on Chico Now. Talking to Dave Freitas, owner of Scrambles Restaurant. The address is East Avenue, but you actually get there by going on Cohasset, just north of East, right across the street from Courtesy Motors. That's the BMW shop, isn't it?
BMW, Mercedes.
I don't know the names of the
above.
stores. I just know where you can find the Fords and all this. I don't know the names of the local places. I've only been here 2 years. I'm still a rookie, so. But Dave, we've been talking with Dave about his Wednesday night activity at Scrambles Restaurant from 4:30 to 5:30. Anybody who wants is welcome to come in and have a meal. Now, you were saying that you have some families that are coming in. Now,
yes.
What is the basic makeup? I mean, mostly single people that are coming in, or is the variety actually pretty well spread out?
Actually, it's all over the board. I'm going to say maybe 20% would you consider homeless. We have a lot of seniors that come in for meals. They can't afford to go out. And we've been getting a tremendous amount of families with children. And that's just great. And then for the children to see what's happening in the community. So it's just fully widespread of our guests. Yeah.
Now, 4:30 to 5:30. I can imagine somebody walks in at 5:25. You don't say, okay, here's your food, but you got to go outside. You just shut down the food, right?
Yes, primarily, yes.
Okay.
And then folks can still sit and
Okay.
enjoy. And we do have those that come in are working and they come in late, so we're usually still serving up to about 20 to 6, quarter to 6, yes.
Don't want to take advantage of you, though.
Right.
So, folks, this is great. And you come on in for a meal. It's free. Buffet style, you said?
Buffet style, yes.
And
We actually serve it, but it is buffet style, yes.
Oh, okay. And Dave was saying in the previous segment that yes, financial donations would be greatly welcomed. Volunteer help would be greatly welcomed. I also liked what he said, because if you want to be a guest chef and cook your own meal, do it. But I also heard your caveat, provide your own food. Which, by the way, is another way of making a donation. Dave said that the meals usually run he and his group of men who do this about $300 a night. And so if you say, I'd like to help and I'd like to offer bacon wrapped burgers, great. Bring them in.
Bring 'em in.
You know, otherwise, it's going to cost some money. So, folks, there's all kinds of ways you can help. There's all kinds of ways you can be helped by eating. This is just great. Again, talk about how you got inspired by this. I'm not aware of the book you were talking about.
Okay, Barefoot Church, I apologize, I can't remember the author, but we do meet every Wednesday, a men's group, primarily from Grace Church is the main sponsor of that.
Okay.
And we study scripture, we study a book, and Barefoot Church was one of them. And being a missional book, Pastor Brian emphasized that. He just came from Utah. And we decided to do something. He said, studying all the time. So now we do something and study. Yes.
Well, did you just go, well, look, let's use my place, or did somebody go, hey, Dave, you got a restaurant here that's not open?
Yeah, actually, we threw about 4 or 5 things in the pot.
Yeah.
And we talked about it for a couple of times. In fact, one of the fellows, Marty, he says, you know what, let's quit talking about this. Let's just pick something. And this was the best way to do it. And it was the easiest for us to do. The facility is there. We're not open in the evening. And there are a lot of individuals and families that do need food. And so it worked out. It's God's work. It's not. We're just the hands. We're just the hands doing it.
And I really apologize that I was totally unaware of it.
And you should.
I should. I mean, we're 3 blocks apart, and I was actually thinking that I haven't been to Scrambles in a couple of months, and I need to. I have my coupons. They're in my trunk.
So use them.
I will. But that is just great. That is every Wednesday night, 4:30 to 5:30 at Scrambles. Once again, for those who look things up on their phone, give the address again.
880 East Avenue, actually on Cohasset, across from Courtesy Motors, yes.
880 East Avenue. And Richard was telling me, Dave is good friends with Richard Hoyt, producer of the show, who also is the owner of the ABCU's bookstore. And Richard was saying his address is East Avenue also. Now, when he comes into your store, I sure hope you kick him out, because he's just not a good influence.
We don't kick anybody out.
No, they don't. And I'll say it again. And yes, this is free advertisement for Scrambles, open 7 o'clock to 2 o'clock every day. That's called Scrambles because they offer scrambled egg mixes in any way that you want to make, plus your own specialties. I think you need to put the Scott Special on there, which is all your ham products plus 2 pieces of cheese. That's all I put in my Scrambles. None of those vegetables and all that stuff. You know, if a rabbit eats it, I'm not interested in it. But
you need your veggies, you know.
No. I leave those for others. That's my missional gift to the world, you see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, curious, did you open a store? Did you buy it from somebody? Scramble.
We opened it. Just in the beginning, yes.
How long have you been open?
6.5 years now.
Oh, okay, very well.
Yeah.
I'm still a rookie here, and
Okay.
when I first came here, I'm trying to think. It was the day after we had an interview here when I interviewed with the Pastor Bears Committee that I was taking to breakfast, and that's where we ate.
All right.
And so it was my first place I ate here. I'm sorry, Denny's was the first place. I'm sorry, man.
Shame on you.
I'm sorry for throwing that word out there, but...
That's okay. They have to be part of the pie also. We have to learn to share, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And so, if you have not been to Scrambles, look in the coupon book that comes out once a month. There's always a 2-for-1. Now, I always point out to people who go with me because they go, I want a water. It's 2-for-1, provided you buy 2 drinks. I know how to read the fine print, so I'll take somebody there. So you got to buy a coffee, a soda, or a tea or something, because otherwise the 2-for-1 doesn't happen. But there it is. And so go to Scrambles, try them out try them out today. If you got, well, actually, by the time you hear this show, it'll be 12:30, You'll have an hour and a half.
Sure, plenty of time.
And if you are hungry and want a meal, Wednesday night, 4:30 to 5:30, and you heard Dave say he can definitely use some volunteer help, some financial gifts, some other people. And so call him up at Scrambles and say, hey, how can I help? Dave, thank you, man.
Thank you, Scott.
Good
Appreciate
program.
it.
Praise
Thank you.
God. And you guys have a good week and be blessed.